Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of All in All with Alex. I'm your host, Alex, of course. Today, we have a very special guest, and I'm going to let her introduce herself because I don't want to butcher the name. So, I'm going to let the diva herself introduce herself.
Yes. What's up, you guys? It is Keldamuzik, aka Diva, hip hop artist, actress, talk show host, entrepreneur, producer, fashionista. Look, sky's the limit when it comes to Diva, okay?
That's right. That's right. I don't even know how you can saying all that stuff. How can you memorize all that? Like, that's a lot to say.
Oh man, because when you do it every day, it's like that's what you
Well, yeah,
are. You know what I
that's
mean?
true.
Like,
That's true. That's true. Yeah, it's just stuck in your mind. Okay. Okay. So, can you tell the people a little bit about yourself, and then we'll jump into the topics.
yeah, yeah. So, I've been in the music game for what, like 10 plus years. Been in the entertainment game since I was a child. And from there, like, I just started branching off into different avenues of entertainment because, as a music artist now, the game is so overpopulated. You have to do so much more to keep yourself relevant,
Mhm.
to expand your fan base, and obviously to keep the income coming in, right?
That's right. That's right.
So, yeah. So, um, I'm a jack of all trades when it comes to the entertainment industry, and I even work behind the scenes too. I've done some bookings for the Loonies, which is the legendary duo. As you guys know, the song "I Got Five on It."
Mhm.
Um, and I'm working with a couple of other artists too. Was working with Kafani, who had a hit track called "Fast Like a NASCAR." So yeah, I've been just dabbling in all parts of the entertainment industry to keep myself busy and again, just to because I love what I do.
Right. Yeah. I mean, as you should. I mean, once you love what you do, then you're gonna be the best you that you can be at it. Because you're passionate about it, so you're gonna want to try to do it more often and be better at it and things like that. Um,
Yes.
so can you tell us about your journey from the Bay Area music scene to becoming a multifaceted entertainer?
Yeah, yeah. So in the early 2000s is when I released my first album, Shut Up Listen. And it was really hard to break into the game being a female hip hop artist, and it was a lot of politics involved, and a lot of just people having different opinions about you. Like, if you were to come to any producer back then and say, hey, I want to rap, I want to do hip hop, or even if you want to do R&B, it's just, okay, well, you're going to do it my style, you're going to do it my way. You couldn't have your own image or your own creativity that you value, that's coming straight from you. It's like people come at you and say, I want to write for you, I want to style you, I want to just do all these things that do not pertain to me. You know what I mean? And for me, that was always the easy way out for a lot of people, where I'm just kind of like, just say you can't do anything for me. If the
Yeah.
first thing you say is, can I write for you? Can I take photos of you? And you want to call yourself a artist manager or a booking agent or whatever, you can't really do nothing for me. So
Mhm.
that's when I took it upon my own hands and I started promoting and marketing myself and doing my own PR, everything. So not only was I wearing, the artist hat, but I was wearing the business hat. And
Mhm.
so I started my own reality TV show on 20 public access stations here in the Bay Area called Diva TV. From there, I used to go backstage and interview hip hop artists, whoever's coming to town. And the show just grew and grew. And that's what eventually got me booked in the Caribbean. So we created this tour called the Cultural Exchange Tour. So it's where me and my film crew, we would, get invited out to different islands in the Caribbean. And for the exchange of us filming the island and going to the different restaurants and interviewing the artists. In exchange for that, they would let me perform at one of their festivals that they have going on. So in Barbados. We started out working with Kirk Brown. I performed with him at the Agro Fest. And then St. Martin, I was out there with DJ Outcast, performed there. And then Antigua, they brought me out there 3 times, and I opened up for reggae singer Jacure. So it was just all in the name of, okay, you're something different. You have a TV show. You broadcast to these many homes or whatever. Let's bring you out in exchange for you filming our island and getting to know us and broadcasting our content back in the Bay Area. You could come out here and we'll take you on a press run. We'll have you collaborate with some of our artists and you'll get to perform at some of these festivals. So from there, that's how the whole international, the Diva International movement started. And after that, I just started getting booked internationally as an artist. But yeah, this is all, guerrilla marketing, guerrilla style,
Mhm.
no corporate entity behind me at the time or anything like that.
Okay. Yeah, I mean that's definitely. I mean, it's kind of like you put it on your own back, and you just kind of carried the torch and carried it, to where it needed to be. So.
Yeah, yeah, almost definitely. And honestly, b- that's why I have dabbled in other areas of entertainment because I know I can and I know I'm capable, not just talent wise, but business wise.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
Okay. So what inspired you to venture into acting?
Yeah, so let's see. I've always been acting for a long, long time, but I wanted to take it seriously again. And because for me, I'm like, okay, if I know how to memorize my lyrics on stage and perform, you can
Mm-hmm.
do the same with acting, right? You
Mm-hmm.
memorize a monologue.
Mm-hmm.
You start small first, and then you keep growing your monologues. You keep extending them to where you're reading longer monologues, to where now you've trained yourself to read pages and pages of lines in your script. So um, I started off. I produced my first short film called "Love the Original Way." It got picked up at the Black Hollywood Film Festival. It's also streaming on Amazon Prime. Excuse
Okay.
me. um, After that, I linked up with the organization called Scary Cow, where you get to work with a lot of passionate amateur filmmakers. But we only call it amateur because it's the beginning stages for
Right.
them. It doesn't mean that they're producing amateur content.
Right.
So I produced another short film called "Whose Ride Is It Anyway," and that got picked up in different film festivals. And then after that, I just started submitting myself to different casting calls, and next thing you know, I'm in a movie called "Devil in Plain Sight," which circulated through the whole film festival market. And my biggest role was in First Date, which is streaming right now on Hulu and Disney Plus. And after that, everything just took off. I co-starred in a play called "How Black Mothers Say I Love You." That was my first actual play that I've done. It was a black box theater play, which means it's more intimate. No more than like maybe 40 to 50 people that are just sitting in front of you, watching you, just staring at you, and you're just acting in front of them,
Yeah.
you know. Um, but I killed it. I killed it, and after that, I recently finished up another film called Inhumane, and I think that's coming out at the end of this year. And then, as you know, I'm currently filming The Hodges with comedian Mario Hodge, where we're just we have one more episode to film, and that will be streaming. First, it'll be streaming on Amazon Prime, and then it'll go on to other networks.
Okay. Yeah. So it sounds like you got a lot of things going on right now.
Yeah, yeah, I love it. I love it. It's fun. It keeps me busy. It's all positive work,
Hmm.
and it just keeps me out of trouble too.
um. So how has your Bay Area roots influenced your music and your overall career?
Yeah, big time. From listening to artists, obviously like E40, Too Short, The Loonies, um, Andre Nicotina, uh, San Quinn, just from listening to all of those artists. And again, when the hyphy movement uh, was strong, that's what really influenced some of my music. However, I didn't make hyphy music. I created a couple hyphy tracks, and I had a couple of artists who specifically made hyphy music on that track. But overall, my music, I would say it's more on a mainstream level. You know what I mean?
Mm,
But it's because of what the Bay has created. The Bay is so versatile and has a lot of different diverse artists that have so much to give musically. It's like it's hard to put us in a box. You know what I mean?
right.
But yeah, obviously the major influencers are, E40, Too Short, Loonies, and then even Pac, right? Um, because when Pac was here, when he was with Digital Underground and started releasing music with them, it's like, whoa, this is really creating the Bay Area sound.
Mm,
And again, the Bay Area is just so talented and creative. We don't even have to stick with one sound. We could do hyphy music, we could do mainstream, we could do conscious music. There's a lot of conscious artists out here. We could do party music, we could do anything we want. And I don't know, it's just something in the air.
yeah.
Yeah.
Some in the air, some in the water. One, huh?
Right, right, right.
um. So, can you describe the feeling that you got whenever your music was featured on BT Jams and maybe like the Real Housewives of Atlanta?
Yeah, yeah. It was crazy. When my video was featured on BET Jams, featuring Kafani. Shout out to Kafani. The song's called Mind Sex, and that's Mika on the hook. She killed it. Um, when we saw it on BET Jams, we were just like, okay, this is great. You know what I mean? For me, it's just another milestone in my career that I'll always remember and that I will always share with people. It's I've been watching BET since I was a kid,
Right.
so to be on BET Jams, you know what I mean. When I'm a little bit older, it's like, oh wow, this is
Yeah.
really really happening. You know what I mean? And then my song that was placed in Real Housewives of Atlanta, it was right before COVID hit. And I was, that's one of my favorite shows. And it was a scene with Kenya Moore talking to her dude Mark. And next thing you know, I hear, "Dun-dun-dun, dun, 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 mirror, mirror on the wall. Who is the diva of them all?" I'm like, oh my God, what? Now, obviously I have a publishing company and signed with an agency and all that stuff,
Right.
so it's really not a surprise, but for me
Yeah.
to actually hear it, like,
Yeah.
it's there,
Yeah. Yeah.
so both of those were milestones in my career, and it's just, gosh, it's, for me, I like saying it's touching the TV, because I still feel like just a regular human being. I don't feel famous, I don't feel, you know popular or whatever, but it's like, whoa, when you do something that a celebrity's doing, or you're standing next to that celebrity, or receiving the
Mhm.
same kind of support as a celebrity, it's like touching
Mhm.
the TV.
Yeah. That's right. That's right. So, can you so do you remember what was your most memorable guest that you had on your Diva Talk tonight?
Yeah, so Diva Talk, which is streaming on Tubi. Hey,
Hey.
yes. Uh, let's see. I've Okay. The most memorable guest, I would say we had a magician on the show.
Mm,
I forgot his name, but he was like, this is when we had an audience in front of us watching us, about 30 to 40 people. And the magician who I brought on, he said, okay. He was like, I want 5 people to come on stage, and I'm going to hypnotize you and, make you fall asleep. So I don't know if I was the only one that didn't know what was going on or who was in on it or whatever, but he brought up 5 people in the crowd, in the audience. He hypnotized them and made them fall asleep on the floor, and they all just fell on the floor. And I'm like, okay, this is BS. You guys get up. And he was like, no, they're asleep. He was like, they'll have to, wake up when I snap. And I'm just like, I'm like, okay. I said, well, put me to sleep. And then he was like, you're the host. I'm not putting you to sleep. So, magically he snapped in everyone's face. Oh, we had a chef on the show, so we had some of his chicken wings, and he was like, I'm gonna wave the chicken wing in so and so's face, and they're gonna snap out of it. They're gonna wake up. And he did that, and one person woke up. Next person he snapped, that person woke up. Next person, he just poured some water on them and they woke up. So I don't know how real it was, but it was
Yeah,
good entertainment. It was really
yeah,
good
yeah, yeah.
entertainment.
That's what it's
Yeah.
about, being entertained anyway.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh man, that's crazy. So what inspired you to launch your beret line, Tams? Is it Tams?
Yeah, Thames. Yep, yep. So it was during COVID. It was during the time where, hey, we're in the house and we all have to try to discover some of our unknown talents.
Hmm.
And for me, as an entertainer, as an artist, I never really had merchandise to call my own. You have Rihanna who has Fenty. You have uh the Kardashians who have their whole makeup line. You have Beyonce who has her athletic clothing, her hairline. And I said, what does Keldamuzik have? What do I have to offer my fans? Something for them um to remember me by. And so I said, well, I said, we need to think of something that, women could wear or that guys could wear.
Hmm.
And what's crazy is my mom inspired it because what she did was she started mailing me berets that she ordered off a website. And I said, hey, like I was getting so many compliments every time I walked outside because I coordinated my beret with what I'm wearing, yeah,
Hmm.
depending on what color it is. And I was just receiving so many compliments. I said, you know what? I need to come out with my own line of berets, my own beret line. And I did. And so initially, the berets were called Tinks, but there was a little copyright infringement because there's another organization out there that has something close to the word Tinks and they sell hats as well. So I had to go back to the drawing board because I was not going to give up selling berets. But I had to go back to the drawing board and figure out, okay, what do I want to call these things and how am I going to get rid of the current berets that say Tinks? So luckily, at the time, I was invited to host fashion shows. So I would vend, and that's how I got rid of a lot of the Tinks berets. And then I came out with Tams, and Tams is doing amazing. We were selling on Amazon for a while, but we decided to go um, directly back to our website, that type of e-commerce.
Hmm.
The website is weartams.com. So yeah, the ladies love it. The fellas are starting to love it. There's 10 different colors. I'm gonna expand the colors soon as we grow and grow, probably to, like 20 different colors. And because of Tams, it's opened more doors for me in the fashion world. And again, hosting fashion shows, hosting casting calls, and also to uh giving people an opportunity to be a model when they're really not. People of different backgrounds, people of different age, people of different skin color, weight. I'm giving everybody an opportunity to walk on the runway and be a king or queen for a night because of your beret. There's no politics involved. No one's worried about what you're wearing. Nobody's worried about how you're walking. You're just running and owning the runway on your own because of the beret. And because of that, I don't know, produced maybe like 15 fashion shows so far.
That's great.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, yeah, the grind never stops.
Never, never,
Um,
never.
so how did you go about creating your own channel that Kills the Music Presents on Apple TV and Roku?
Oh yeah, Kelda Music presents. I just figured like I want to put out a documentary about my life, and I wanted to put everything all in one platform so that yes, everything's on YouTube and all the other media outlets, but I told myself, well, why not have your music videos, your TV shows, your podcasts, your live performances, just whatever you have video wise online, put that onto make a channel on Roku. So I did, and it's called Keldamuzik Presents. That's also the name of my YouTube channel. So everything that you see on YouTube is on there.
Okay. Okay. It's interesting. I mean, that's actually a really great idea that I know a lot of people probably haven't thought of, especially artists as well. So that'd be something for them to kind of take grasp it right there. Um,
Yeah, I'm definitely one of those artists who think out the box, outside the box. Because there's just like at this point, everybody and the whole family is doing music now. So you really, really gotta think outside of the box and think of what's gonna separate you from the next artist. Even if your music sounds really good, you look really good, you sound really good, you write really good, you have a gang of followers, it doesn't matter. Outside of that, what's gonna make a brand want to give you money to be an influencer? What's going to make a promoter want to book you? What's going to make the radio station want to play your music? It's just so many
mhm.
different moving parts now to being a successful artist. And that's pretty much what I'm doing.
Yep. No, I definitely agree. I definitely agree. I mean, just by the looks of it and what I'm hearing, it sounds like you definitely set yourself apart. Because I mean, it's not many artists that's doing, doing fashion and doing acting and doing, doing all these different things that you're doing. You can blow up in any avenue right now, and then your music will come along with it.
Exactly. Exactly.
So,
Yes. Yes.
and I mean, I just be me. I think of stuff like that as well because I mean, I do a little music as well.
Hmm.
So I be thinking of different ideas myself, but just hearing some of the things that you've done, I'm like, oh yeah, that's good. That's interesting. So
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Definitely.
as with you being an advocate of mental health awareness, what message do you try to convey to your audience?
Um, I'd like everyone to take a moment, take a day to yourself, whether it's on a weekday or a weekend, and meditate, sit in the tub,
Hmm.
sit in a quiet room, download the app Calm, listen to something peaceful on YouTube or on a podcast. For me, I I I like laying down and listening to the rain, light rain, not heavy rain, but light rain. Or sometimes I like to listen to the forest, where you just hear birds chirp and trees waving. Um, just you need a peaceful moment to calm your brain down,
Hmm.
because your brain is so busy working on so many things, right? When you're working, your brain is scattered everywhere. When you're going through something mentally or physically, your brain is working and running and scattered everywhere. So you really owe it to your brain to just sit back and rest for a little bit. Take a break from everything. Take a break from friends, family, business, whatever it is, and whatever kind of junk food you like, or if you like to drink, whatever, take a break from all of that for just one day and just chill out. Or else, hey, that's how a lot of people have mental breakdowns. That's
Right.
how a lot of people have panic attacks, because your brain is trying to catch up with your body, with what your body's doing.
Hmm.
And if it can't catch up, then it's gonna turn off.
Hmm.
And that's when people kind of go a little crazy. They go insane
Hmm.
because it's uncontrollable. Your brain is its own person, and it's in your body and you're operating it. But hey, if you don't recharge or charge yourself, then it's gonna give up on you. So
Hmm.
it's no better than driving a car. If you don't take care of your car, what's going to happen, right? The wheels are going to be, not in good condition. Your engine's not going to be in the greatest condition. Just your car will slowly fall apart. So
Right.
same thing with your mind, and same thing with your body. You have to detox. You have to give yourself a break from everything.
Hmm. Yep, I definitely would agree. I definitely agree. So how do you use your platform to empower women, and why is specifically that important to you?
Yes, so I have a nonprofit called the Diva Outreach,
Hmm.
And the platform is catered to females who want to develop a talent or skill in art. Um, and this could range from, regular art painting to music, acting, fashion, modeling, whatever it is that you want to do pertaining to art. I want to be able to provide a platform for you. And this is educational as well, because I want to offer etiquette classes. I want to offer, extracurricular activities. I want to offer tutoring programs, everything to help females. There's a lot of females out there that have talent, but they don't have time to pursue their talent because they have children, they have families, job loss. There's a lot of homeless mothers out there, homeless females. 2 years ago, I fed the homeless. Um, I want to feed homeless mothers. I want to go to female shelters and provide little, gift bags with necessities in there. I just want to be able to provide females with whatever I can to help them pursue their dream, their goal, in whatever it is they want to do. Again, primarily the arts, but obviously other avenues as well, because it's just all about coming together as one and helping each other out.
Right, right. No, I definitely agree with that. I mean, it's very important. So
Hmm.
you do so many things. How in the world do you balance all these roles?
Shoot. Again, just taking a day off for myself, exercising,
Mhm.
eating right, and drinking a lot of water. I could go through like 10 water bottles in a day.
Mm.
And for me, I don't have a family, right? I don't even have pets, so it's kind
Oh,
of
okay.
like, this is my baby.
I got
Everything
you.
that I'm doing, these are like five kids.
Got
Music, TV, film, fashion,
you.
that's Jerome, Tyrone,
Yeah.
Laquavius, you know what I mean? So
Yeah. I like
I
that. I
just
like that. Yeah, I
yeah.
like that. Yeah, I was just curious because I mean, I mean, me personally, that's why I have trouble at balancing everything that I'm doing.
Hmm.
I'm doing almost, almost the same, not the same things, but almost the same amount of things that you're doing, and
Hmm.
I just find it, it's hard to balance it. It's very hard to balance it. So,
Yeah,
but,
it is.
but so how do you feel the music industry has changed since you started? Because I know before you were telling me about you know you would have had to do it their way if they were going to help you. It was certain ways you had to do get in. So how have you seen that change from when you first tried to enter into where you are now?
Yeah, so now it's all about developing your own brand, right? And wearing different hats to manage your brand, to manage your career. And it's at a point now where you're growing your own fan base. You're putting out your own music. You're hiring your own producers. You're writing your own music. You're doing everything on your own to where it attracts the bigger people to want to work with you and pay you because of that. You're building a track record. You're giving yourself experience, right? So it's just you're your own label, your own manager, and you do everything your own on your own. And if you don't, why would someone find you a profitable entity to work with? You have to become a profitable brand in
Hmm.
order to attract the labels, other brands, sponsors,
Hmm.
um, grants, whatever the case may be. You really have to be a walking business machine now, because it's not even about the music anymore. You could put out anything and there's a fan base for it. I'm not saying anybody will like it, but
Yeah,
I'm just saying there's a fan base for it,
yeah,
right?
I agree.
Like how um right now, black people, we're popping in country again, even though we created country. We're kicking down doors now, right? Because
Mhm.
there's an audience for Black country music.
Right.
And soon it could happen again with rock music, alternative music,
Right.
whatever. You know what I mean? It's just really what you want to do with your career and what direction you want to take it in. And of course, funding is the most important thing. If you do not have the finance to invest in your career, that unfortunately that is what's going to hold you back,
Yep.
because all you'll end up doing is showcases for free, um passing out flyers, or the cards with the
Paying to be on the
barcode.
showcase.
What?
I said, or paying to be on those showcases.
Right, or paying to be on those showcases. Yeah, so it's really, you're just chasing your tail, right?
Hmm.
And really, doing shows is great, right? For starters, but if
Hmm.
you find yourself still doing shows and doing them for free, you're really just satisfying the promoter and the audience. You're
Right.
not you're not really elevating your own career, because what
Hmm.
half the time when you go to showcases, it's other artists waiting to go up, and
Yep.
they brought their fan base, but after they're done performing,
Let's
their
leave.
fans leave. Yeah. So then you might be only left with like five people watching you.
Yep. And the people that are watching you are other artists that's waiting to perform. So you're
Exactly.
performing in front of other artists, and if you guys aren't networking to make each other bigger, then it's never really gonna do anything.
Right, right, right. So that's why I said everything's about branding and thinking outside of the box.
Hmm.
Like I can't even tell you what formula it is, but we all have a different formula today. You have your own formula to create and drive your brand the direction you want it to go in.
Right. Right. I agree. I definitely agree. Um, So, what do you feel has been the most valuable lesson that you've learned as an entrepreneur in the entertainment industry?
Yeah. Networking is great, but don't ever ask for any handouts. Don't expect any handouts. You have to be the driving force for your career. You have to figure out how, again, what formula you want to develop, what structure you want to create, and which direction you want to go in. You can't just walk into a label's office or even a manager and say, "Oh, help me get shows, help me get booked, help
Yeah.
me become famous." It doesn't work like that anymore.
Right.
Everything is strategic, and again, everything takes a budget. So just when networking with people, more so, you should ask for advice. Don't ask for their assistance. Ask for advice. People would respect that more than you coming to them saying, "Well, you're put on. Can you put me on? I got talent. I got drive. I got hustle." Doesn't work that way. So that's why anyone whoever I talk to, I'm always, "Hey, what's your social media? Let's follow each other." I don't even ask for anyone's phone number. Let's follow each other on socials. And if we're meant to work with each other based off what we see from each other, then it's going to happen. But if
Mhm.
I'm just aggressively telling you why I'm the ish, and you need to work with me, it's
Mhm.
not this isn't making the band. This isn't American Idol. You know what I mean? That's why they do have those kind of shows.
Right. Right.
or Deb's house, Deb Atney. She has her own reality show
Yeah.
on We TV now, where she has a house full of female rappers, and they all have to prove to her why they deserve a spot in the spotlight.
Mm.
So, but like I said, that's what that show's made for, to prove
Mhm.
yourself.
Right.
But if you're just networking with someone, hey, let's follow each other on IG, Twitter, Facebook.
Right.
You got a LinkedIn? Cool. And
Right.
that's it.
Yeah. No, I agree. I agree. So, with everything that's going on in the music industry and things like that, how do you stay authentic to yourself while navigating the pressures of the entertainment world?
Yeah, so it's funny. Like, I was just watching the BET Awards yesterday. I was actually there last year and a couple times a while back.
Mhm.
Just watching like the newer generation of female rappers come out, I always think to myself, okay, you got to be able to continue to blend in with the sound that's out right now, even some of the lyrical wordplay. You know
Mhm.
what I mean? But I believe that, just like Nicki Minaj or even Queen Latifah, who was recently on tour, you have your music and you have a fan base that helped you grow, that continue to follow you. So I keep my music the way it is, and I listen to what's out there and grab different pieces of what's out there and put into a new track. You know what I mean? To stay relevant and to keep up with all the other artists. But for me, I'll never change my style of music because it's just purely talented and creative. It's not what you would hear, from just any artist, especially any artist today.
Mhm.
um, I put a lot of thought and effort into my music. And now I'm actually starting to record a little bit of Afro beats,
Okay.
Afro tech, EDM. Um, it's a great direction to go in, and I really enjoy uh spoken word, and I'm not a singer, but you know I could harmonize a little bit, just like a lot of other rap artists do. Nicki
Mhm.
Minaj, Eminem harmonizes on a lot of his stuff.
Mhm.
Kanye West, you know what I mean? So that's what I'm starting to dabble into as well.
Okay. Okay. That's good. That's good. So, what advice would you give any aspiring artists from the Bay Area or anywhere that's looking to make it in the industry?
I would say keep honing your craft, attend as many events as possible to network, and not all opportunities are good opportunities. Just because someone
Mhm.
says, "Oh, hey, do you want to perform at this venue, whatever?" And then when you get there, it's like a little hole in the wall, and they got you performing next to a trash can, and you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And right next to the bar, like, if you're trying to make yourself look good, especially for social media, because that's where everyone's watching you, then choose your opportunities wisely. Don't
Mhm.
just choose anything because it is an opportunity, because at the end of the day, this is your brand and people are watching. And if you don't want to make yourself look like you're desperate, then don't.
Mhm.
Don't.
Yeah. No. Yeah. I definitely agree with that. You definitely don't want to look desperate. So, um, so you were saying you've been in the industry for some years now. So how okay you said since the early 2000s. So since you've been in since the early 2000s, how has streaming impacted your career in the way that you connect with your audience? Because I know streaming is
Hmm.
relatively new. I guess you could say under 15 years old. So
Yeah.
what is your thoughts on that? Like how has it changed your career?
The streaming game, actually, it's good for me. I'm making more money with streaming. Um, it's and honestly, it's just more distribution platforms, more
Mhm.
outlets where
Mhm.
your music is placed, and pretty much all the distributors share the same outlets. Everyone's on Spotify,
Right.
Deezer,
Apple
Tidal,
Music, all of
Apple. Yeah. But then you have some distributors that only specialize um, distribution on certain outlets, which
that.
is cool because now you're making money here, you're making money there, you're making money over there. You know what I mean? So
Mhm.
I'm not mad at the streaming game as long as the checks keep coming.
That's right. That's right. That's right. I understand.
Yeah.
Um, so okay. So do you have maybe a moment, or maybe whether it's a funny moment, whether it was a life changing moment that you could share, like a behind the scenes moment, whether it's from one of your music videos, whether it's from a project in a film or movie that you were in, something like that,
A funny moment. Let's see. Hmm.
or it can be funny or just life changing, like something that really
Yeah,
that.
yeah. Okay, I'm gonna mention this funny moment. It was probably like my second time performing in like 2006. And I remember the bra that I had, it was regular strap bra, but the outfit that I wore required a strapless bra, and I didn't have a strapless bra. And so I had my friend, she was my dancer, she like tucked in the straps for me or whatever. She's like, all right, everything's nice and tucked in, you should be good. And I went to perform at this bar in Berkeley called Blake's. and it's an underground bar, so it's nothing but real artists that come through, and it's real intimate. And the performance was great, but as I was performing, my bra was falling
Oh man.
down, and so you could just see it through my shirt. The nipples are popping out, and the bra is just making its way down. And I'm like, oh my god. I'm like, okay, all right, that
Yeah.
happened. But I would say that I rather that to have happened than to fall on stage. I never
Yeah.
want to fall on stage.
Yeah, yeah. I can only imagine that happening. Oh man. I mean, falling on stage, that's super, super embarrassing. I mean, at least with that,
Man,
nothing was like really exposed or, whatever the case may be. But
right.
um you don't want to be remembered for that person that fell on stage and got a laugh and everybody got a laugh off of it.
Exactly, exactly. And there's
So
been quite a few artists that have fallen on stage where I'm just like, how did you let that happen?
yeah,
Just do you not know how big or small the stage is? Like, come on.
yeah, yeah,
But yeah, I always told myself, I was like, okay, the bra thing happened, whatever. And really the only reason why that was embarrassing was because again, it was an intimate venue where people are just sitting right in front of you. But if I was on
right.
stage, you probably really wouldn't notice.
Nah, nah.
And I still kept performing. So
Oh yeah,
I didn't
yeah,
give a damn.
yeah.
But
I mean, that's what
yeah,
helped. Yeah. Um.
yeah.
Okay, so what's next? What's next for Kill the Music? Because I mean, any upcoming projects coming up, or new goals that you're setting for yourself, upcoming films, like what's new for you?
Yeah, so next I have a couple of collaborations, music collaborations that I'll be doing with a couple of artists, and I'm also producing my first feature film called Lost Horizons,
Okay,
and we go into production next month, August, and I don't know when it's going to come out, but again, it's my first feature self-produced film, and I'm really excited about it.
okay, yeah. I would definitely. I know I'm gonna tune in because I'm big on those films, and I haven't got a chance to watch as many as I would like. Since I'm doing so much business things, and then also working a full-time job on top of that. So I
I
stay
feel
super
you.
busy. Stay super busy. Um,
Yeah.
so can you let everybody know, where they can, where they can find you, whether it's your website, whether it's your social media or anything like that? Can you let them know?
Yeah, so you guys could visit my website. It's keldamuzik.com, KELDAMUZIK.com. From there, you'll find all my social media links. You'll see all the latest updates for my film, music, TV, fashion, and you could opt into my newsletter so you can stay updated on everything that the Diva has going on, my darling.
Okay, okay, yeah. Hey, y'all heard it from the diva mouth herself. Hey, y'all better keep up with her. Y'all better see what she has going on. She has a lot of things in the works that she's doing and things that she's already done. So you guys go check all that out. And you know,
Check it out.
but I definitely appreciate you taking the time to come on today. And so everybody that's watching, you guys make sure you go support her and everything that she has going on. Follow her on social media. Keep up with her. Go stream her music because we all know those streams are important. So make sure
Yes, sir.
make sure we get that done, you guys. So you
Get it
guys have just
done.
watched another episode of All Now with Alex, and we'll see you guys on the next episode. Peace.